Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So, we're live on YouTube now, so you guys make sure you make a note of it. But listen, this episode, I want to talk about vision and I want to talk about the importance of having a huge vision. And I want to talk about what to do when you have one, because it's something I kind of been struggling with for the past couple of years about how to handle mine publicly. So this episode is only for my viewers and my subscribers who have a huge vision, meaning if you have something that you really like is magnanimous that it almost scares you and it's something that you want to use to change the world, this episode is for you. Now, I'm not suggesting that everybody has to have a huge vision or a huge mission, but I'm just not talking to you if that's not you today. This episode is not for you if you don't have a huge vision, if you don't have a huge mission. But if you do, I want to tell you guys how I'm dealing and how I'm handling mine because I was watching a documentary recently. You know, that's how it always happens. You see some content and it triggers something for you, and you're like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. So, listen, I'm not interested in speaking to the people today who have a small vision. I'm not interested in speaking to the people today whose mission is undefined, where you're not clear yet. And I'm not saying it's anything wrong with being in those circumstances. I'm just saying that this episode is not for you. But if you have a huge vision, something that that you are crystal clear on, that you know what your assignment from God is, and you know that it's bigger than you, it's probably bigger than your lifetime, then this episode is for you. Thank you for y'all following me over to YouTube. Listen, we're trying something different now. Like we've moved, businesses, they always like trying to expand and they just put the little handwritten note on the door like we've moved across the street. That's us. So thank y'all for who follow me across the street. I appreciate it. So now I want to get into vision and mission today and talk a little bit to you guys about the revelation that I had recently, personally, about mine and the work that has to be done in order for me to effectively execute on the mission and the vision that I personally have. Now, some of you have known me for a while, but if not, let me introduce myself. I'm Lisa A. Smith, founder of the Black Health Academy, and I run a coaching company that's dedicated to the health and longevity of marginalized communities. And that's going to be really important for today's episode because the work that I do is really meaningful to me, especially when it comes to marginalized communities, communities who disproportionately succumb to chronic disease and chronic health challenges. And so my mission is extremely large and it's very simple, though. It's very simple. Many people who have been following me a while have heard me say this over and over again, which is our mission at the Black Health Academy is to extend the healthy life expectancy for people of color. It's that simple. And it's that hard, right? Currently, Black Americans specifically have one of the lowest life expectancies on the planet. And so I want to make sure that I do my part and my portion for extending the healthy life expectancy for people of color, primarily because I live a life of radical obedience and I know what it feels like and what it looks like to live a life dedicated to obedience. And I really believe that our health is getting in the way of our ability to surrender to our assignment. And so I want to make sure that, people of color have a fair shot, just as much as anybody else or any other demographic to executing on their assignment and not dying prematurely from diseases and conditions that were preventable. So my mission is to extend the healthy life expectancy for people of color on this planet. And I plan on doing that primarily through my coaching company, the Black Health Academy, and some other strategies that I'm going to share with you today. So welcome, welcome. Listen, I'm new to this YouTube thing, y'all. So I need y'all to do me a huge favor. If you are already following me on Instagram and Facebook and watching my lives every Monday, if you've been tuned into the podcast every Sunday, if you come to some of my complimentary plant-based business master classes that I do every month, if you could just do me a huge favor and support me over here on YouTube, click the subscribe button and make sure you're notified every time I go live every Monday, primarily because my mission is to extend the healthy life expectancy of people of color. And I do that through health coaching. I do that through business coaching. And if you're interested in either one of those things, then this is the place you need to be anyway, right? Especially if you're about this plant life, right? And so hit the subscribe button for me so we can get our subscribers up, we can get our viewers up, and we can move the mission forward. Thank you in advance. Now back to the show. We always got to act like we're on a commercial. We do a little, now back to the show. Okay, y'all. So listen, I had this major revelation recently. I was watching a documentary on Netflix, like maybe a month or two ago. It hasn't been out very long. Maybe you guys have seen it. But the documentary is on this gentleman named Bayard Rustin, and he was a historical figure. He was the probably the like the right hand, one of the right hand men to Martin Luther King, and he is responsible. Him, Bayard, and along with another gentleman, are responsible for planning the March on Washington, which you guys know was a huge thing in the '60s for us for Black history, right? And so this gentleman, before this documentary came on to Netflix, I had never heard of it, right? Like before this documentary came on Netflix, I had never heard of Bayard Rustin. I had no idea who he was. I didn't like had never like you could have said his name and it would have meant nothing to me. But I watched this documentary on Netflix about this guy Bayard Rustin, and I was blown away. Like I was blown away by him being responsible for such a huge, huge event in Black history. And we had never heard of him. Like I was blown away by all he had done. Like the March on Washington, he didn't just organize it. It was his idea. Like that's next level. It's one thing to organize, to take somebody's vision and run with it and bring it to fruition. It's a whole nother thing for it to be your vision. And so not it wasn't just him organizing the March on Washington, but he was responsible for the ideation, for the creation of the March on Washington, right? And so this guy, Bayard Rustin, I'm watching this like intriguing, documentary about him on Netflix a couple months ago. And before this moment, I had never heard of him. And I was the film was so good. If you guys watched it, let me know in the chat. I would love to know. But the film was so good and I was so intrigued by it. And I got all excited during the film and just learning more about Black history and learning more about the March on Washington and learning more about kind of like the behind the scenes at the time of like the NAACP and, and all of that and just the civil rights movement. But then almost immediately, not even like 5 minutes after the documentary had concluded, I got sad. Like I got overwhelmed with sadness because I just can't believe how many of us, meaning Black people, how many of us have made such like enormous, enormous strides in our history and how far we've come, and how so many of us, we've never heard of these people. Like, unless somebody takes the time out to do an expose, to do, like journalistic research, to like takes a genuine interest in us and the role we played in history, many of us will die not knowing these people. Okay. Many of us will die not knowing these people. And so I got so sad thinking how messed up it was that I had never read about this man in a history book, that nobody had taught me about him in school. Like, out of all of the Black History months I've lived through in my life on this planet, I've never seen him celebrated. I've never seen a post about this guy. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. And here's what hit me: I am not interested in being a hidden figure. Like, all of the work that we do today at the Black Health Academy for marginalized communities and people of color, and to making sure they can take back their health and that they can become advocates in their own health for themselves and their family, I don't want that to be history, unknown history. I don't want the work that we're doing to be unveiled later. I've made a decision. Like, after watching this documentary single-handedly helped me come to this decision. This is not something I was tussling with before watching this. This documentary single-handedly helped me come to the conclusion that I am not interested in being a hidden figure, that I am only interested in being a public figure. And from being a public figure, I plan on becoming a historical figure. Now, I don't know if this is like uncanny. I don't know if this is unheard of. I don't know if this is unrealistic, because what we probably know is that most historical figures that we know, right? Like all the Harriet Tubmans and the Martin Luther Kings and the Malcolm X's, right? And the Rosa Parks, all of the historical figures that we know, and that are so popular, I imagine not a single one of them set out to become a historical figure. I imagine that they were only doing what they felt they needed to do in the moment, and it just happened to turn into history, right? It was kind of happenstance. But I made a decision after watching this documentary that that would not be me. I made a decision after watching this documentary that I was so crystal clear on my mission and my vision on this planet, and that it was so huge and that it had the potential to make history, that I was going to set out and start in this moment to becoming a historical figure. I want y'all to be clear about this. Like, I'm not interested in just maybe somebody possibly remembering me and the work that I do later. I'm not leaving it up to chance. I'm not leaving my legacy. I'm not leaving my story. I'm not leaving it up to chance. Like, the work that we're doing to extend the healthy life expectancy for people of color on this planet will make history, and I'm going to ensure it. I am like, we've seen the movies, y'all. We've seen the beautiful black women at NASA who were mathematicians and geniuses and helped put us on the moon, and we didn't know about them till we saw the damn movie Hidden Figure. Like, I'm not here for that. I'm not here for it. I'm not interested in somebody maybe coming across my story and sharing it with the world years later. You know what I mean? Like, I'm interested in making history right now. Like, I have the mindset that the work that we're going to do is going to make history right now. And so I'm just going to act like it. Like, I'm not interested in being modest. Y'all feel me? Like, I'm not interested in being humble around the work that we're doing. I'm interested in being public about it. So here's what I got to do. Here's what I decided. I decided, okay, Lisa, you've watched this documentary about Bayard Rustin and all the work he did for creating the March on Washington, not just executing and organizing, but creating the March on Washington. That was not Martin Luther King. That was this guy, right? And you've decided that you don't want your story to be shared later because somebody else decides it's important. You've decided that right now your story is important. And so I've decided that in order to become a historical figure, the thing that needs to precede that is that I need to become a public figure. So before I can become a historical figure, I need to become a public figure. And so I want to share with you guys just a couple of things that I decided to do since I'm in order to become a public figure, since I made the decision to become a public figure. There's a couple of things that I've decided to intentionally do to ensure that I'm a public figure. Now, again, let me be clear. Let's put some small print in here for y'all. Again, this episode is only for people who have huge visions and huge missions like me. So I'm not here talking about celebrity for the sake of people knowing me for my ego. I'm literally talking about those of us who believe we have an assignment from God to do something that's huge, to change the course of history or to alter, history in some way. And it's important that people know your name to drive that mission forward. That is where I am right now with it, right? Now, one of the things I've always said, I say this to our coaches inside the plant protocol. One of the things I've always said is that if you are solving a conventional problem in an unconventional way, you need to become a public figure, period. If you're solving a conventional problem in an unconventional way, you need to become a public figure. Like, that needs to be your goal because you're solving a problem that people typically solve in a whole different way. You're bringing a brand new solution, a brand new perspective to it. So people need to know your name. Like, people need to know who you are and need to hear from you repeatedly in order to consider your solution. So an example of that is the work we do at the Plant Protocol and Farm to Table. We run plant-based coaching programs, right? And that means we're solving a conventional problem, obesity, diabetes, hypertension, in an unconventional way with lifestyle modifications. Now, the conventional approach to solving those problems are medications, are medical equipment, procedures. That's the conventional way these health challenges have been solved before us, right? But now here we come. We say we're going to solve this conventional problem in an unconventional way. Let's take a plant-based approach to diabetes. Let's take a plant-based approach to obesity. Let's take a plant-based approach to hypertension. That is solving a conventional problem in an unconventional way. And so I truly believe in the work that you do. If you're solving a conventional problem in an unconventional way, then you are required to become a public figure because people need to hear from you. People need to see you on a regular cadence to hear your perspective and you hear your approach to solving their problem. This is important because if they don't hear from you, and then if they don't see you on a regular cadence to hear your unique approach to solving their problem, they're going to go with the conventional approach. And so if you are frustrated about the way something is currently being done and you have a new or different way that you're taking to solving that problem, trust me when I tell you, you need to be in the public light. You need to turn your camera on. You need to turn your mic on. You need to go after opportunities that put you in the public eye if you are solving a conventional problem in an unconventional way. Right. And so I've been saying that for a long time. That's what we teach our coaches to do inside the plant protocol. We position them to become subject matter experts and to become a public figure so that people can hear their unique approach to solving their conventional problem. I'm taking it one step further. I've made the decision that the work we're doing is going to be so historical and so monumental for Black people that I'm going to go from a public figure to a historical figure. I'm making the decision now. I'm just not going to leave it up to chance. And so here's the thing about it. Shout out to Kelly. What up? Look at y'all. We got comments on YouTube. Hey, okay. Kelly said, I agree. I also don't want to take my gifts, talents, and purpose to the grave. Amen, Kelly. Amen. And Chasing says, phenomenal. This is why I believe in my motto of emotional intelligence for the conventional problems I help fix with men and fathers. 100%. Oh, hey, Demayas. That's Demayas. Chasing heartbeats. I know that language. Um, and so this is so important, right? And so we're solving a conventional problem in an unconventional way. So we need to become public figures. Okay. Very good. Now we got that clear. So let's I'm taking it a step further though, because I really believe, God has given me this assignment to work hard to make sure that because of the work we do here, Black Americans are living longer, right? Not just living longer, but they're sick, but their healthy life expectancy is extended. So we have a life expectancy, how long you're going to live in total. Then we have a healthy life expectancy, which speaks to how long you're going to live with good health, right? And so my mission is to extend the healthy life expectancy for people of color. So if you're living to, I don't know, 85, I want to make sure you're healthy to 85. Some people are living to 85, but they're only healthy to like 60. And they spend like the last 25 years of their life battling some chronic health challenge. That's insane. And it's unnecessary and it compromises the assignment. People can't execute at a high level if they're unwell. So the work that we're doing is super important to make sure that people are not just living long, but they're living long with optimal health. Okay. So back to my desire to become a historical figure. Let me tell you guys the things that I'm doing to make sure, number one, that I'm a public figure. Okay. Because there's a couple of things. The first one is this. I've been joining and paying to be in communities for many years, masterminds, coaching programs, the whole nine. I love it. It has really helped to up my emotional intelligence. It has really helped to drive my business forward and has really helped with my mindset, right? And so I've been in communities for a long time. But one thing I have not always done in the communities that I join, in the communities that I'm in, is get to the front of the class. So one of the ways that I'm ensuring that I become a public figure on the road to becoming a historical figure is I'm moving up to the front of the class in every community that I'm in. Every community that I'm in. So that means that I'm making sure that people know my name. I'm making sure that people know my face. This means my camera is on, right? I'm making sure people know my name. I'm making sure people know my face. I'm making sure people know what I do. And I'm making sure people know what I'm doing, right? They know what I'm currently doing and they know the things that I'm aspiring to do. Not only so that they can be a part of my origin story, but also like resources and help and assistance and perspective. So many of us have visions. So many of us have missions and so many of us have goals that we're not sharing with people, maybe out of fear, maybe out of a lack mindset. Somebody's going to steal my idea and all that nonsense. That's nothing but lack, right? I'm making sure that on my road to becoming a public figure, it looks like me in a microcosm of my life that I'm showing up to the front of the class in all of the communities that I am in. So I currently run a mastermind, but I'm also in a mastermind right now. So my coach knows my name. My coach knows me on a first name basis. My coach shouts me out during his events. My coach texts me randomly. I text him, like I make sure that he knows my name and what I'm doing. And as a result, even in the little time I've been in this current mastermind for less than a year, and I've already gotten opportunities just by making sure that he knows my name and he knows what I'm doing. He knows how long I've been in business. He knows my mission. He knows my area of expertise. I make sure that the community that I'm in, they know me, they know my mission, and they know my area of expertise, right? So one of the things that is very, very important for us to do if we are solving a conventional problem in an unconventional way is you have to start going public now. Stop thinking you can drive your mission forward. Stop thinking you can push your vision forward if you are insisting on staying behind the scenes, if you are insisting that you are a background person, if you are insisting on leaving your camera off so that nobody sees you and nobody hears you, right? You have to get in the front of the class. It's not enough to be in the community anymore. It's not enough to be in the room anymore. Like we used to pat ourselves on the back, like, at least I'm here. Like I did a thing by being here. No, you didn't do that big of a thing. Like not only do you have to get there, not only do you have to be there, but you have to make sure people know your name know your face. And listen, I'm telling you guys, this is coming from somebody who identifies as an introvert. Like, I love privacy. I love like being low key. It's my jam. Like, it's my favorite thing. Like, I wish I could just walk the world super low key, changing the world and nobody ever knows my name. But God told me literally a couple months ago that that wasn't possible, right? He told me like the mission that you're on, that I put you on, is going to require you to become a public figure. It is what it is. So I'm here for it. I'm just going to be obedient. But my choice, my first choice would be to be quiet, would be to be low key. But that's not possible, right? That's not going to be possible. And so I'm going to lean into this public figure situation, and I am going to make sure that every community that I'm in, everybody knows my name, everybody knows what I'm doing, and everybody knows what I intend to do. So that's my first way of becoming a public figure on the road to becoming a historical figure. The second thing, I only have two more. The second thing, shout out to Anthony. Anthony said, I see you, Miss Lisa Baird was a beast. Yes, he was. That was such a good movie. It was such a good movie. But Anthony, you tell me, did you get angry too after watching it? Or maybe you had heard of him before. Had you heard of him before watching the film? Because I didn't. And I was so upset. I'm like, this man literally created and organized the March on Washington, and I've never heard from him. This is insanity. I've never heard of him. I've never seen his name before. And like, I was pissed off. Like, I'm so sick of us being hidden figures. I'm sick of it. Like, I'm done with it. And so the second thing, speaking of that, that I'm doing to ensure that I'm a public figure on the road to become a historical figure is I'm not leaving it up to chance. I'm not leaving it up to chance. So I talked about this a little in the beginning, but I'm intentionally creating a plan and a team to position me as a public figure. So one of the things I've been studying in the last couple of weeks that I've like really been thinking about is, what is my preferred brand of celebrity? What is my preferred brand of celebrity? Because you know how like you have celebrities who are like people just want to touch you and they go crazy. Like, they want to rip your clothes off. They just want to take home something that belonged to you. Like, they're like passing out and sweating and you can't walk the streets without doing anything. That's not my preferred brand of celebrity at all, right? I want to be a public figure that still has some privacy in public, where people still respect your space, right? And so I've been thinking about recently, since I made the decision to become a public figure, like, what's my preferred brand of celebrity? Like, these are the type of decisions I'm starting to make since I've made the decision that I will not be a hidden figure, that the work we do will be known while I'm alive and again while I'm gone, right? And so I've decided not to leave it up to chance. So I have a team. Right, I've put together a team who's responsible for making me a public figure. Like, this is real talk. That's part of the reason why we're on YouTube, y'all. Now, like, my team told me, like, Lisa, we're not doing IG Live anymore. We're not doing Facebook Live anymore. You're going to be on YouTube, and you'll pull people over to YouTube, and that's how we're going to do it. I'm like, okay, boom. So we have a plan. Like, I'm taking stages, bigger stages now. We're going after bigger stages. People will know my name, period. Because the work we're going to do for Black people deserves it. Right. Some of us are trying to be a celebrity and we ain't even talking about nothing. Like, we ain't even saying nothing that's worth listening to. Right. But we are doing meaningful work. And for that reason, I want everybody to know now and not later. And so we have a plan that we put together to make me a public figure. It's a big deal. Like, and I know it's a big deal because it makes me majorly uncomfortable, right? Like, majorly uncomfortable. But shout out to Kiwi, shout out to the team who's responsible and who has joined me on this mission. Like, let me just pause and say this, guys. Like, it is no better feeling in the world as a CEO and as a business owner to have people who believe in your mission, who are aligned with your vision, and who have committed to driving it forward as much as you do, like, who have committed to your vision and your mission as much as you have. Like, it is the absolute best feeling. I didn't even know it could feel this good to have this type of team. Like, I've had teams in the past. I've been in business. It'll be a decade next year. But this team I have right now is different. It's so different, right? And they're so committed to the vision and the mid. Like, they're not committed to Lisa, they're committed to the vision. Like, they too believe in extending the healthy life expectancy for people of color. And so it is so meaningful and it means so much to me. I don't want to let them down. So that's a big deal. And so I feel so blessed to have it. And I know God sent me this team for this mission. So I don't want to let him down. So it's just amazing. It's just an amazing collision of obedience. Like, it's so cool to see like a bunch of obedient people just collide. Like, it's like fireworks and sparks. And all the feels. But anyway, okay. So that's the second thing I'm doing to ensure I become a public figure on the road to become a historical figure to avoid becoming a hidden figure. Okay. Is it's an intentional practice. I'm not leaving my celebrity up to chance. You guys are going to see me intentionally starting to be in a spotlight in a different way. You're going to see me intentionally showing up on different stages and in different spaces to ensure that people know my name and people know our mission and know what we're doing. And then the final thing, and this is the biggest one, by far the biggest one, the final thing that I'm doing to drive my huge mission forward and to become a public figure is I am intentionally doing something worth talking about, meaning our mission is meaningful and making sure I'm actually doing something that people feel is textbook worthy, right? And so, because what I believe is it doesn't matter whether or not somebody likes Lisa. Like it doesn't matter whether or not someone like it's like I like her, I don't like her, I like her personality, I don't like this about her, whatever. Like it doesn't matter how you feel about me. I want to make sure that our work is in the forefront. Does that make sense? Like, I want to make sure that the work that we're doing and the evidence of the work that we're doing, like all of our clients, like they are the spotlight. Like the work that we're doing is so meaningful and it's going to be so impactful to the people we serve that you guys are not going to have a choice but to look this way. That's the goal. Like, I want to make the results that we get for our clients and the results that we get for our partners in the corporate space. And I want to make sure that the work we do for the people is so good that you guys, no matter how much you can't stand me, you still look this way. Because the work that we're doing is so intentional and so meaningful that you can't help but to show up in this ecosystem. And just out of curiosity, you know how some people, everybody talking about them so much, you just got to go see what it's all about. I didn't even want to watch the Cat Williams video, but I had to go watch some clips. I'm like, everybody talking about it. That's what we're creating over here, right? Shout out to Kiwi. Hashtag made you look. You feel me? Hashtag made you look. So it's so cool. So just yesterday, right, I got a DM from a client, a former client. She graduated from our coaching program, Farm to Table, which is our plant-based coaching program. And I think she graduated last year from Farm to Table, I believe. And she sent me this beautiful DM, right? She sent me this beautiful message. And she's like, Lisa, I just wanted to give you an update first and foremost. She was like, I'm so happy to report I've lost, I forgot how much weight. It was over 30 pounds. She was like, I've completely surrendered to the plant-based lifestyle. I've lost this weight. She said, I've reversed my hypertension. She's like, and then I want you to know my father, I got him eating healthy too. He's lost all of this weight. We reversed his hypertension. And they did one other thing. I think it was like put diabetes in remission, something crazy, right? Like major results. And mind you, her father is in his 70s, right? Because some people they think after a certain age it's just too late to do anything about these conditions. So her testimonial was so major. She was like, I just wanted to let you know that like this works. I took Farm to Table, like, yes, right. And it was so good. I asked her if she can come speak to our Farm to Table class that I'm currently teaching. I was like, yo, you got to come share this with my current students so they can know what's possible because we get results over here. That's the type of work that I want us to do, where she is telling somebody else, yeah, I went through this program at the Black Health Academy called Farm to Table. It helped me adopt a plant-based lifestyle. As a result, I no longer have hypertension. I'm no longer obese. My dad no longer has type 2 diabetes. Hashtag made you look. Like your curiosity, y'all know y'all nosy. Y'all gonna be so curious. Y'all gonna have to look this way. And our work is gonna be so fantastic that we're gonna hold your attention when you get over here. You know what I'm saying? And so that is the third thing that I'm doing to ensure that I become a public figure, but more importantly, the work that we do becomes, on public display. And you guys can't help but to turn this way and look in this direction. So there is I'm just gonna give you a little teaser. I can't tell everything right now, but the brand new, like hot off the press, like fresh out the box project that we're working on right now. The only thing I'm gonna tell you guys is it's in the tech space. It's in the tech space and like it's brand new. Like we're still ideating on how to make this work. And that is the direction you're going to see us heading in probably in the next year or two, where we're moving into the tech space to move our mission forward of extending the healthy life expectancy for people of color. And I'm super excited about it. And I believe this divine download that I got from God about moving into the tech space with this particular idea is going to be the one that's going to make history. It's going to be the one that's going to really, really help millions upon millions of people with their health, and extending their healthy life expectancy. And I'm so excited about that because um, I've been for like the past maybe 3 or 4 years, I've been really it's always been in the back of my mind, like something has been telling me we need to get into tech. Like to really drive our mission forward, we need to get into tech. And for the longest time, y'all, I cannot figure it out what that looked like. I had no idea what that looked like, but I think I finally got it. I think I finally got it. And so I'm super excited about the team we've built here. We have a team of 7 Black vegan women who are all on a mission. It's just amazing. It's just amazing, amazing. And so I think we finally got it. I heard a quote recently that said, "If you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there." And I was like, "Ooh, that hurt. Like that was heavy." They said, "If you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there." That really means you just out in these streets, like willy nilly, like you have no direction. Like that's wild to me. So it feels really good to know where we're going. It feels really good to know what direction we're headed in. It feels really good to know, what significant project we're working on over the next several years to move our huge mission forward. So that is the message I have for you guys today is that if you have a huge mission, if you have a huge vision that's been given to you by God, like, like, yep, this is my assignment. Got it. I encourage you to lean into becoming a public figure. And if your mission is really huge, to lean into becoming a historical figure and do it on purpose. Like that's just my thing. Like I'm not trying to be an accidental historic figure. I'm not doing it. Like we're doing it on purpose. We're going to be strategic about it. Like we're putting our hands on this thing. Like we're going to have a plan attached to it because I do not want our work to be unveiled. Like how they find those fossils in the, when they digging up bones and stuff of dinosaurs and these old creatures like, oh, look what we uncovered, this is cool, 300 years old. No, y'all ain't about to just find my work 300 years later. Y'all ain't about to just randomly find my memoirs. Nah, that ain't happening. I'm making copies of my memoirs and I'm sending them to 10 people to live on. What we not doing is about to be an accidental historical figure. We're not doing it. Because if Bayard Rustin taught me anything, it's like make sure you leave clues. We leaving breadcrumbs around here. Like what we not about to do is have a random Netflix documentary 40 some odd years after we dead and not people saying your name. What? Mm-mm. 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 Kiwi said it best. Hashtag made you look. We're not doing that. Shout out to Bayard Rustin and all of the future historical figures and history makers that we're going to find out about because somebody decided to do, an expose on them on Netflix. Like I was angry. I was happy and angry at the same time. I said enough is enough. How many of us got to be hidden figures? How much quicker could we change history for us in every sector in this country? In health, and finance, in education and criminal justice, how much quicker could we change things for us if more people knew about those of us who were already doing the work? Like, because a lot of these missions don't require new ideas. Many of our of the missions that already exist just require more of us to get on board with them. Because some people are already leading the charge. We just don't know about them. So now if you guys know, okay, Lisa is over there leading the charge on for the health of Black people. I'm interested in that. I ain't got to come up with nothing new. Let me just go hop on her train. There's seats open. We got seats open over here. So many of us are trying to start from scratch because we think ain't nobody never done it. No, we just ain't seen a Netflix episode about it yet. It's crazy that people are already doing this work. You feel me? So y'all gonna know my name. Y'all gonna know my name, okay? Candace said, change history for us and our families. Absolutely. Say less. Y'all heard Candace say less. I got my assignment. I got my assignment. Okay. So that is, yeah, put it on your watch list for sure. Put it on your watch list. It is an exceptional documentary about Bayard Rustin. Because then I was watching like the world news a couple weeks after that that came out on Netflix. I was watching the world news. And so they had the guy who played Bayard Rustin. He was in, I think it was New York, I think, visiting Bayard's old home. Right. So they were, now they were going to see where he used to live and all of that stuff. You got to do that while I'm here. Like, I'm giving y'all a tour of the crib while I'm here. Like, if anybody decides they want to do a tour, or where Lisa Smith used to live because she made history, I was upset. Like, it was cool to see, but I'm like, this man gone. They gave him the Presidential Medal of Freedom. I'm about to butcher this word. Posthumously, whatever, after death. Okay, they gave them the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Hang my medal around my neck while I'm breathing. We're not doing this. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Don't chain me up. Hang mine while I'm breathing. Y'all not about to giving me stuff post death. I made history while I was alive. This is crazy. I'm so sick of them burying us. Nobody knows about us. That we didn't know about Bayard because he was homosexual. That's why, right? So he was part of a marginalized community, and it wasn't safe for us to talk about him and for him to be in the forefront. That's not what we're doing. We're not doing that. Mm-mm. Nope. I'm not hiding behind a white figure in my business. I'm not gonna act like I'm not the face of the brand. I'm not gonna act like, nah, y'all gonna y'all gonna know what we doing in real time. I want my presidential medal of freedom where I can still walk on my own, where I can still think on my own, where I still have all my functionalities. You can run it right now. Okay, that's it, and that's all. Let me see. Um, Anthony said, he said, being in the plant protocol helped me to 10x my vision. I realized I was thinking too small. Thank you, Anthony. He is one of our coaches inside the plant protocol, where we help other passionate vegans package their passion into a thriving health coaching business. And for that reason, like, part of the driving the mission forward that I had a couple years ago was I need to duplicate myself. So in 2021, we created our own certification. I'm like, ooh, Lisa, you keep running from the table on your own. I mean, you're getting pretty big cohorts, but it's not enough. Like, we still not helping enough people at once. The next best way to do that was to duplicate myself and create other passionate plant-based health coaches. And so I created the Plant Protocol. So everything we've created on this journey has been in pursuit and in support of the mission to extend the healthy life expectancy for people of color. Now on to the next thing. Now we're going to get into tech. I'm like, okay, we got the certification. We have the proven process to help people build successful health coaching businesses. We got it in a bag. Okay, next, get into tech. Like, every divine download that God gives me, I'm just going to be like, got it, execute on it, make it good for a couple years, go on to the next thing. So it is what it is, because y'all gonna know my name. Y'all gonna know the Black Health Academy. Y'all gonna know the Plant Protocol. Y'all gonna know all the work that we do. Y'all gonna know. And I want my medal while I'm live. Somebody make sure to take note of that. Give her medal while she's here. Like, I ain't trying to be unconscious. I'm still trying to be able to think, but I'm wearing it like in the streets. I'm at lunch with a Presidential Medal of Freedom, like at brunch with pumps on. I'm still trying to be able to wear pumps with my stuff. Y'all ain't about to play me talking about Hidden Figure. It was a good movie, but I don't want a part in it. Period. Okay, that's it. That's all I got. Listen, y'all, we on YouTube now. Okay, we on YouTube. Kiwi told me I got to go live on YouTube every Monday here. I can't do IG no more. I can't do Facebook, and I miss y'all on Facebook and Instagram. Like, we would have probably been acting up in the comments. But listen, y'all commenting over here. Y'all done figured it out. So I would appreciate it so much if you guys would hit the subscribe button, so that we can get a huge following over here, so that we can drop this knowledge over here, so we can have a good time over here as much as possible. So if you guys can just subscribe, I would appreciate it. Was there anything else I was supposed to ask for, Kiwi? Let me know in the chat, because y'all know my team is directing me. I got to get used to this public figure thing. She told me I can be myself, but I don't know how much of myself I can be. So let me know. But I know the one thing I need you guys to do is to subscribe to the channel here. This is live. Okay. This is the Plant Protocol Live with Lisa A. Smith every Monday, 10 a.m. EST, 9 a.m. Central, 7 a.m. PST. I don't know time zones. And I will be back here same time next week, and we're gonna talk that talk, y'all. So we'll be here plant-based coaching. We'll be here doing business coaching, and just making sure we're giving you valuable nuggets around surrounding the success I've personally had in the plant-based space, living a plant-based lifestyle, but also the success I've had in the coaching space, right? So I want to make sure that you guys get all the nuggets, and I want to give away as much as possible to make sure that you guys feel supported, whether that be on your plant-based journey or your journey to becoming a successful coach, or like me, your journey to becoming a historical figure. Let's see. Melissa said 10 a.m. Got it. Candace said done. Hey, we got a subscription. Melissa said, I love that you're inspiring and open doors for other coaches and entrepreneurs and people to change the world. Yay! Thank you, Melissa. That's Coach Melissa, who's also inside the Plant Protocol. She's going to become a public figure too. Just watch. We're going to make all my coaches inside of the public figure. All my coaches inside the Plant Protocol, we're turning them into public figures because why not? We're solving conventional problems in unconventional ways. So y'all know what it is. Okay, I'm going to figure out how to end this thing now. Until next Monday, I will see you guys back here, same time, new topic. Bye, y'all.